If there's one consistent theme on this channel, it's Gravity Falls related lost media. Despite airing in 2012 and seeming more so like something that would be the case with some obscure 80s or 90s show, Gravity Falls has its fair share of lost media. Some we have found that I've made videos on, such as the Next Time on Reel, original McGucket hoax image, series logo image, Slenderman hoax source, Alex Search David Letterman appearance, and more. However, something that all these lost media cases have in common is that while I've helped start the search, I wasn't the one who found it. The Next Time On was leaked onto 4chan by now probably some fired Disney employee. The McGucket hoax, logo, and Slenderman images were found by friends of mine during searches I was hosting or popularized, and even the Letterman video, while one which was found thanks to me tipping off Don Giller, was still technically found and posted by him, and even then, I found him thanks to a tip on Reddit, not myself finding him. All this to say, I've never really had my own Gravity Falls lost media find. Sure, I've refound that lost game, but in the grand scheme of it in terms of stuff that fans actually may care about, I've never actually had that. Except for one instance, back in 2023, when I really did find a piece of lost Gravity Falls media, all on my own, with my own research and ultimate searching. Here's the story of how that happened. So, it's January 16th, 2023. I was getting settled into a new job, and during a break, I did the usual check on Twitter to see what was up. In my feed, popped up a tweet from an account called Cartoon Promos. Now sadly, the account is gone and all I have is this one link I saved on my server about it. Luckily, it saved the text in the tweet, which read as followed. I decided to make this thread of promos of all Season 1 episodes of Gravity Falls on Disney Channel, with the exception of The Hand That Rocks the Mabel, because I couldn't find it. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a thread for Season 2. As you heard, they'd made a thread of every promo made for Season 1 episodes of Gravity Falls, which was impressive given though Season 1 promos are, at risk of sounding like one of those annoying nostalgia baiting people, still pretty cool and a relic of a long gone era of Disney Channel. But what was interesting was them mentioning that they couldn't find one episode's promo. Season 1, Episode 4, The Hand That Rocks the Mabel. This genuinely surprised me, given I always assumed the GF promos were well archived and at least one or two videos of them were up online, or on the Mystery of GF channel, which, as I learned from this, only began backing up episode promos in HD from the Time Traveler's Pig onwards. All episode promos before that one are up on various other channels and in far lower quality. Now naturally, my next order of business was to find a promo. Now I'll admit, I did get a bit arrogant in my assumptions at first here, as I thought maybe this person just didn't look hard enough, and with a few Google searches or checks on Tumblr posts, I could track this promo down and be like, hey, I found what you were looking for easily, and score some bragging rights. But of course, as you can expect, that didn't happen. And pretty soon, I began to realize what Cartoon Promos was on about. I checked YouTube channels that used to post promos in 2012. Nothing. I checked the Gravity Falls Wiki Tumblr archives given they stretch back to June 2012. Nothing. I even as a last resort, checked a massive Gravity Falls promo archive made by a channel called That Guy with the VHS. He recorded nearly every single GF promo dating back to 2012 on VHS, and compiled them all into one super handy video. Now I said nearly, given annoyingly, his archive began with promos for The Inconveniencing, literally one episode after what I needed, so it was missing the time period of promos I was after. I even contacted the Mystery of GF for info, given he may have the promo, but that didn't lead anywhere either. My friend Emma even reminded me of something that further aided in the evidence that this promo may genuinely be lost. In the Mystery Shack Lookback podcast, which is an amazing podcast by the way, and one that I got to be part of too, they always played the promos for every episode at the start of a podcast episode about it. However, in the Hand That Rocks the Mabel episode, they instead played the Gideon commercial from the cold open.
The episode we're talking about today, The Hand That Rocks the Mabel, Season 1, Episode 4.
Are you completely miserable? Yes! Then you need to meet Gideon.
So we just watched The Hand That Rocks the Mabel.
I even asked them, given I'm good friends with the team, and they confirmed they couldn't find it themselves back then. So this meant that even the Mystery Shack Lookback team couldn't find this promo, which meant it was genuinely lost. Or maybe it didn't even exist to begin with. There was a possibility it just never had a promo and one was never made. But at the same time, we had a promo for Headhunters, which literally aired before it and only one day after episode 2 had. So if one existed for that episode, with its back-to-back release on premiere weekend night, then one had to exist for this one too. And technically one did.
Disney Channel summer. Head into nature. Boating at night on an all-new Disney Channel night of premieres.
But it was a mixed promo made for Disney Channel's night of premieres, and it had the GF episode promo paired up with promos for other shows airing that same day like Phineas and Ferb.
Let's do this.
The dedicated promo for this specific episode, which is the one we're after, remained lost. Now, in usual Gravity Falls Lost Media search fashion, I turned to my server for help and also made a post on the Gravity Falls subreddit, which in true Gravity Falls subreddit fashion, failed to yield any helpful tips. We did eventually get one promising lead. I made a YouTube community post, and in the comments of it, alongside people saying they remembered seeing the promo in 2012, was one user who gave me the link of a blog post on which was some of the only mention they could find online of the Hand That Rocks the Mabel promo. Sadly, the YouTube link on it for what seemed to be the promo was dead, and even Wayback was useless as the only archives were from after it had been deleted. But this, alongside people stating that they remembered seeing it air, did bury any lingering doubt on the existence of the promo, and confirmed that one did exist. Further evidence to prove this link had indeed been for the promo when it was up was the blog post itself. It was posted on, of all sites, the Austin and Alley Wiki. God, that's a show I've not thought about in years. The blog writer included the same premiere promo I mentioned earlier, and also links dedicated to promos of the other shows airing that night, including Gravity Falls. And I can be certain that these were the dedicated promos, given while the GF link is now defunct, as well as nearly all the other ones too, the Fishhooks promo link still works, and takes you to the dedicated promo for that episode. So, while we don't have the promo link itself, we now have evidence proving it did exist and did air. The blog post was made on July 2nd, 2012, which means that this promo had to have aired on or before that day, but likely no earlier than June 29th, which was the premiere night of Legend of the Gobblewonker. It was a small window of time, but still enough that a copy of it had to have survived. Also, side note, the person who made this blog post mentioned they were probably not going to watch Gravity Falls, which I really hope they change their mind about later on, given oh boy, did they miss out if so. Now, while this was a good lead, it also ended up being the last good lead we had. The search sort of dried up after this. There wasn't anything else found. I began to focus on other projects and just regular life stuff, given I was of course working a job while pursuing a degree, and this Lost Media hunt sort of became just another bullet point on the missing GF content Lost Media search list. We did discuss it here and there, but it wouldn't be until nearly 7 months later that this quest would finally reach its end. So, it's now the 1st of July, Canada Day. After a lovely night of watching fireworks and being glad I don't live in the United States, I returned to the cesspit that is Twitter, and in a reply to a tweet from someone asking for interesting facts about yourself, I mentioned how me and my friends ended up finding the source of the Gravity Falls Slenderman hoax image, given we were coming up on the 1-year anniversary of that find. That in turn made me want to revisit the very place we found it. In case you don't know, the reason the Slenderman hoax image was so hard to find was because it was originally posted on a now defunct image board site dedicated to furries. And no, I'm not making that up. The only reason we even found it was thanks to the 4chan user who first posted it on the CO board there, mentioning they got it from that site. Sure enough, we ended up tracking the image down on a Gravity Falls thread on that site, which thankfully was archived by Wayback. Long story short, we had done it. But after we did, we sort of just called it a day and left the site. I had gotten a bit interested, and I decided to check out the full GF thread on there to see if there was anything else on it that we may have missed and that was interesting. It ended up not being much besides the usual early GF fandom talk about the show, early fan art, memes, and more. But right above the message that had the Slenderman image posted on it was a message with 3 links. They were YouTube links for the first 3 episodes of Gravity Falls in full. Now, obviously I'm not going to show the link given as it turns out, Wayback has a working archive of them all. And with it, I now had a copy of the first 3 episodes from the night they had premiered, adverts and all. This was something I also was somewhat excited about and had been trying to find for ages, given I always wanted to see what Gravity Falls episodes on premiere night were like. Now, the episodes themselves weren't anything new. Unless you want to watch Gravity Falls in lower res quality recorded off of a PVR, you're not missing out. But it was the ad breaks that really were where the prize lay. In the upload of Tourist Trapped, I found a one-time airing Disney Channel bumper for the series that likely only aired that night and never again.
Next, the wait is over and there's no turning back. It's the premiere of Disney Channel's brand new series, Gravity Falls.
That alone was pretty cool, but in the ad break for the upload of The Legend of the Gobblewonker, I found it!
Friday night, you met Grunkle Stan. You stepped inside the Mystery Shack. Now, it's time to check out the rival. Child Psychic Gideon.
Hello, America! That's Stan's mortal enemy?
And he's setting his sights
I have a vision.
on Mabel.
Will you do me the honor of going on a date with me?
What?
There it was, the promo for The Hand That Rocks the Mabel. It had finally been found, and it had been sitting there quietly on Wayback for all these years, on a definitely TOS violating upload of a full Gravity Falls episode on YouTube, with the link located in the replies of a defunct furry message board. Gotta love the internet.
Okay, we agree on something here.
As soon as I isolated it from the full episode, I posted the promo to the channel, as well as a quote tweet to Cartoon Promos. By this point, the account, which had also posted the Season 2 promos, which are of course all saved, was no longer active. So, I let the person who ran it know too, and while their account is also no longer up, thanks a lot Elon, I do recall them being really happy that this mystery had finally been solved. And with that discovery, we now had an archive of every single promo for all 40 Gravity Falls episodes. It's not every day you can say you helped complete the promo list for a TV show, but that night, I was able to say exactly that. And this was, technically speaking, my own lost media find. While I had help and tips that got us close, it was at the end of the day, my decision to search that board again that led to this promo being found. So, in a way, it is therefore my own personal case of finding a lost piece of media. Is it that big of a deal? Probably not. I mean, I doubt there were any Gravity Falls fans on the edge of their seats waiting for me to upload the promo to an episode that introduced a character that not many fans liked to begin with, but hey, it's still something. And to be honest, it's still a small victory that I at least can have the bragging rights for. It may not be finding a Lost Sesame Street episode or a missing 80s song level important of a lost media find, but to me, as a Gravity Falls fan, it's all the more valuable as a result to have gotten this. There is one final little interesting discovery I made in the midst of this search. If you look at the Slenderman hoax image posted just after those episodes had been, you'll notice this vertical black line on the left side of it. Given this is the original image every single repost of it came from, this black line is in all of them. And do you know what else that black line is in? The promo for The Hand That Rocks the Mabel that I found in the upload of The Legend of the Gobblewonker from that message above. I think you can already connect the dots. This right here, this was the very video from which the anonymous person who made that infamous edit took that screenshot from and edited Slenderman into it. I had not only found the final missing Gravity Falls promo, but also the very video, arguably the most infamous hoax image this show has ever had, excluding the McGucket hoax of course, came from. And that is quite a nice cherry to top this interesting lost media cake we have just baked. And speaking of which, I still have part of my birthday cake left over to go eat, so I'm gonna go do that, and with that said, that's the end of this video, and the story of this little lost media hunt for Gravity Falls. I've been that GFN, and thank you for watching.